Good evening. This is a podcast that we do every night, and we need to name it, and it's your daily dose. So, what we want to do is do our next, I think we're on 214 tonight of your daily dose of vitamin CBD. This is our channel that we have that we're trying to memorialize the coronavirus by educating folks every night. And I have two of my very faithful observers, and that is Susan and Kit. Thank you very much for coming on and supporting this. We are getting ready to make a major launch because those two people that come on every night understand that we had to use alternate means and mechanisms of payment because of the credit card situation, and Kit got pretty darn good at it. We use multiple apps in order to get payment because the words or the letters CBD still cause a great deal of trepidation in the marketplace, in the e-commerce business marketplace. Okay, vitamin CBD was knocked off of Stripe, knocked off of Square, was knocked off of PayPal, and these are the conventional ways that we pay today. And we had to go back to yesterday and even going through a process of invoicing people. But we've gotten over that hump. I want to thank Ms. Ellis. They did a great job in persevering, not pulling all her hair out as we went through that process. The whole aspect of CBD has caused a lot of I wouldn't say commotion, but a lot of movement in the scientific world, and looking at the chronic low-grade inflammation and the neuroprotective and the neuroproliferative capabilities of cannabidiol. Cannabidiol, better known as CBD, is probably the second most common cannabinoid of the cannabinoids that work on the endocannabinoid system. Today, I took time to study the 5-HT receptors in one of the pathways that we utilize in order to reduce our anxiety. The COVID-19 has has tripled the amount of anxiety, depression in the course of the last 8 months. It's shortly under 8 months that this virus has taken 216,000 lives, and it's felt to be 3 or 4 times more deadly already than the normal flu. So it's not just the flu by any stretch of the imagination. And we come on every night to do this podcast of about 10 to 15 minutes in an effort to relate some of the information that I've gathered during the course of my day. I was in the lab yesterday putting more wild Maine blueberries together, so that because of the nano emulsification that we have in this process, you get 4 times more vitamin CBD than you would in a normal gummy. So this is exciting, and yet what it takes is people don't know what they don't know. So what they have to do is learn about this, validate this, and then want this. And that's what we are attempting to do with these podcasts every night. And so we're up over the 200 mark, which is just a testament to the severity of this virus. And one of the things, and I'll give this person who just came on accolades, the Modern Woodsman Financial Services, established in 1837, has allowed me to do a program under their flag, under their banner, and to have a financial service interested in the endocannabinoid system is a big jump, okay, a quantum leap, if you will, okay, for a financial service. And the bonus baby is that they have the representative has come back and wants to do it again in November. So November the 17th. So if you can mark your calendars, November 17th, we're going to be talking more about the endocannabinoid system. We're going to be talking about how it can be used therapeutically, how it can help to reduce chronic low-grade inflammation, which is the impetus for many, many different diseases. So this podcast is to I'm going to I have a patient that in the emergency room that is basically calling, and I'll give him a call back in 4 or 5 minutes. I called him before I started. He is one of my patients, and I say patients because everybody that takes my vitamin CBD as a customer becomes my patient, and it's just part of the uniqueness or the special component that hemp commodities industry and vitamin CBD wants to have in their relationship with the public. Because we have our process physician directed, and that's me, and it's no bearing other than the fact that I have been working at this for a long, long time, that may validate me as I don't want to use the word expert, just because I am so still learning so much every day. Now, I will tell you a little bit of my disappointment. If you go to my Facebook, I was on at 8 o'clock. The University of Pennsylvania Penn Orthopedics was to have a webinar tonight, and I sent a question in because I have to address my fellow physicians. And my question was, who's doing research on the bone stimulating capability of the CB2 receptor? Now, you have to understand that until September the 20th, December the 20th of 2018, the word endocannabinoid was not even mentioned in 87% of allopathic MD medical schools. So there's a lot of catch-up needs to be done, and that's why I'm holding myself to this podcast every night through the epidemic, because it's something we all need to be doing a little bit more than we think we can do, and to sacrifice and to make time and to slow things down until people get back to normal. I think it's most appropriate that we all chip in, and together we can do more. So this is the purpose. Hi, Nikki. Almost every person on this call, of course, right now is taking vitamin CBD, and some, whether tincture, whether it's a wild Maine blueberry, whether it's the gel caps, whether it's a cream or ointment, they believe in it, and they keep coming back and ratifying their belief. And people from Minnesota to North Carolina to Alabama to Florida to New York to Maine, we're growing, and we all have an obligation of doing just a little bit more than we think we can do. So please hit that share button and push the shares up. Please hit the like button. Please talk to your family. The reason I call it daily vitamin CBD, because we all need it. I think that as a whole, and I told my son this the other day, that I believe that we're in cannabinoid deprivation because it's been taken out of our fields, okay, the hemp. And in fact, I told you earlier about the University of Kansas being awarded $200,000 from the United States Department of Agriculture to study the uptake of CBD and THC in the stomachs of cows. So there is a movement afoot, and you have to understand every person on this call is ahead of the movement, and so you are a innovator. Okay, you're not an early adapter, you're an innovator. Why? Because you're actually you trust the medicine, you trust the supplements that we are using, you trust the delivery system, and you're taking it and you're getting results. And that's what we really want more than anything, is we want the results, because as a physician, I want to base my success on how much better I get patients. I got a phone call from one of my vendors, and his carpenter is in the emergency room. He's already had, I believe, a laminectomy. He's having problems, and from a video conferencing standpoint, I'll try to see what elements I can do to get him calmed down, to get his symptomatology minimized or under control. I have more limited capabilities today as a operative orthopedic surgeon. There were things that I could correct, could reverse, and that made me feel real good. And we did that for 30 over 35 years. So that was good. So now I still think that I have a voice and I have a platform, and you all give me that platform in this podcast every night at 8:30. That we try to do. We're running 214 consecutive days, and what we need to do is continue to heed to the advices that are coming out in the literature at this point in time. So I'm really pleased that we've been able to keep this up. We keep getting orders from each one of you on the line, and we just need to grow this, and we grow this by virtue of educating the public at large. There's still a lot of stigma over the whole cannabis process because they call it marijuana. Some people think that you're going to get high, but what you're going to get is you're going to get a low-grade chronic inflammation relieved. You're going to get the oxidative stress relieved. You're going to reduce the tension. You're going to increase your calmness. You're going to get better sleep. I know I can't even get to 10 sheep before I'm gone. And we have to learn how to use it. We have to learn how to dose ourselves. That's why we come on every night to do this. So today's reading was on the 5-HT, and that's a tryptamine, which is the serotonin receptors. That's the science, and I don't want to confuse you with the science. Just know that it's a happy drug, and they stimulate the happy drug, and with the serotonin, and we know that the 2-path has much greater affinity for those serotonin receptors. But we'll go over that, and I might have to get a whiteboard and might have to give an exam soon, so to see what we're retaining. No, I wouldn't dare. Okay, so thank you very much for listening tonight. Like this, share this, go forth, and let's practice one time our credo. Have you had your daily vitamin CBD today to help reduce your chronic inflammation to support your immune system? We all have some element. With diabetes, there's a low-grade chronic inflammation. And I just called 2 of my customers who have told me that from a patient standpoint, they have cut their metformin. One person cut their metformin from 2,000 milligrams per day down to 1,000. And I had to call him today. Hi, Gina. I had to call him today to let her know that the pharmaceutical world is going to recall one of the metformin compounds. Okay, so we have to really be careful. Metformin. I mean, how many people do you know on metformin and that don't know yet? Okay, if they haven't watched the news or don't get these alerts as physicians. So anyone that is on metformin, let them know that metformin, the pharmacist is going to try to get them to an alternative over metformin. So that's my public service announcement tonight. How's that go? Go to dailyvitamincbd.com. Dailyvitamincbd.com. We have our 12 SKUs there. I have a couple more. Most of you know about my Wild Maine Blueberry Nano Emulsified, gummies that we have on special. If you just PM me, and I just went down to the lab and bottled up more because I ran out because one of the integrative medical doctors called and cleaned me out completely, understanding that the nanoemulsification has 4 times the amount of bioavailability, moving it from 20% to 80%, and 4 times the bang for the buck. Think that some of my people that have come up are taking the gummies and cutting them in half and using them at different segments of the day. It's not going to get you high, but it'll keep your anxiety minimized. It'll keep your inflammation work on the anti-inflammatory. We also have research looking at the autoimmune regulatory component that cannabidiol has. That's enough for the night. I probably have confused the hell out of a lot of people. Okay, hey Henry, good to see you. Okay, so we want to thank you for watching this podcast. Please go to your daily dose of vitamin CBD on the YouTube, because it's being populated with some about 214 different podcasts. Please and thank you, and have a good night. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Out.